Imagine this: 11 men stormed into a cash depot, tied up the employees, and escaped with over $2 million, equivalent to $36 million today. No shots fired, no threats left, and for 6 long years the world kept asking, who did it? This is the true story of America's most legendary bank heist, the Brink robbery of 1915. On January 17, 1950, around 7:30 p.m., 7 men entered the Brink's money storage facility. They were all wearing coats, gloves, and hats. Their faces were very covered with Halloween masks. The robbers moved quickly and precisely, as if the robbery had been planned for a long time. 5 Brink employees were held at gunpoint. Their hands were tied behind their backs and their mouths were gagged. The robbers worked fast, tying up the employees and hauling away $2.7 million in cash and securities. The heist lasted 30 minutes. After that, they fled the scene. Brink's employees called the Boston Police Department, and officers along with the FBI arrived to begin the investigation. Well-known Boston criminals were arrested and interrogated. Vendors, couriers, and other visitors to Brink also interviewed. The sheer number of interviews and lack of focus led the investigation to dead end. The Brink's case made national headlines. Brink's Incorporated even offered a $1,100 reward for information or theories that could aid the investigation. After 2 exhausting years without result, the Boston FBI office received a call from someone claiming to have identified the robbers. The information connected 9 well-known criminals to the case. To confirm the claims, the FBI contacted hundreds of criminals. They visit nightclubs across the U.S. Weeks of investigation analyzing a driver's cab, ropes, and tape left behind yielded no result. Some agents even abandoned the case. One agent found a new clue. On the night of the robbery, at 17:49, Ford truck with a tarpaulin roof was seen parked near the Brink's entrance. Turns out the robbers used this truck to transport the loot, a logical choice given the volume of stolen goods wouldn't fit in a regular car. Parts of the truck were found on March 4, 1950, at a Southern Massachusetts dump. The truck had been chopped into pieces and hidden in bags originally used for shipping cow bones from the U.S. to a gelatin company. This discovery became a valuable lead in the Brink's case. Police then interrogated Anthony Pino, an early multiple suspect in robberies and theft. During questioning, he gave a seemingly solid alibi. He was at home at 7 p.m. and later visited Joseph McKinney's liquor store. A Boston police officer came this meeting. However, the distance between the liquor store in Roxbury and Brink's could be covered in 15 minutes, meaning Pino could still have been involved. McKinney was believed capable of planning and executing the Brink's robbery. He had left his home before 7 p.m. to meet with the Boston police officer. The FBI later identified 2 prime suspects known for their courage and experience with firearms: Joseph James O'Keefe and Stanley Albert Kushura. Both had served prison time and previously worked with Pino. During questioning, neither had a solid alibi. O'Keefe left a Boston hotel at 7 p.m. and he and Kushera drank at a local bar. While searching for evidence, the FBI found several $100 at a relative's home but could not tie the money to the robbery. Still, they believe both men were involved. On June 12, 1950, they were arrested with firearms allowed from another case. O'Keefe was sentenced for 3 years and fined $3,000. Kushera received 5 to 20 years. Despite limited evidence and witnesses, there was little doubt that O'Keefe played a central role in the robbery. From multiple interrogations, the FBI learned O'Keefe left his hotel around 7 p.m. Pino and Becker also left separately around that time. Costa returned to a motor terminal at 7 p.m. The others could provide convincing alibi for their whereabouts during the 7:10 to 7:27 p.m. window of the crime. It's likely that well-trained robbers coordinate to meet close to the start of the heist, giving them a thick window to maintain alibi. 4 years later, O'Keefe finished his sentence in Pennsylvania in 1954. He was then tried for robbery and receiving stolen goods, but released on a $1,500 bond. Back in Boston, he contacted his Brink accomplices, asking for money to defend himself in another weapon case. His constant demands caused resentment. Eventually, attempts were made to kill him. The first attempt was on June 5, 1954. A car pulled alongside his, and O'Keefe took a bullet shattered his windshield. The second attempt happened on June 14. O'Keefe and a friend tried to extort Becker. Becker panicked and opened fire. A shootout ensued with no casualties. Another attempt occurred on June 16. O'Keefe was shot in the wrist and chest. After that, he disappeared. He was later jailed again for violating parole and for his own protection as he was not likely to confess. From his Springfield jail cell, O'Keefe wrote letters asking for money. He didn't want to serve time while his accomplices lived lavishly. If he got out, he'd like be a target. He received only empty promises and delays. Ignoring threats, he became anxious, angry, and frustrated. On January 6, 1956, at 4:20 a.m., O'Keefe finally confessed. He revealed a full story of the Brink's robbery and named 10 accomplices. Before we continue, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share to support this channel growth. Your participation meant a lot to us. The Brink's robbery was the result of years of experience and planning by a tight-knit criminal group. Their plan was to enter the Brink building and steal a truckload of barrel cash. Before the robbery, they thoroughly studied the location. They had secretly entered in multiple times after work hours to gather intelligence. They even observed office activities by watching the lights in the building. In November and December 1949, they began approaching the building. Costa acted as a lookout, signaling from the rooftops with a flashlight. On January 17, 1950, the group met in Roxbury and boarded a Ford truck. Benfile drove with Pino, O'Keefe, Becker, Verti, Mavie, Kushera, Michael Vincent, and Thomas Francis Richardson inside. On the way, Pino handed out peacoats and travel caps, pistols, Halloween masks, and gloves. As they passed Brink's, the Brink Street side lights went off. The truck stopped at nearby playground. Everyone but Pino got out. Ben filed past the area awaiting Costa's signal. One cleared, they entered Brink using a duplicate outer door key, surprising 5 employees. They tied up the employees and began looting. During the act, the garage worker rang the bell, but the gauge employees called raised alarm. They tried to break open a General Electric metal box, but lacked the tools. The loot was loaded into the truck, which sped off. Costa drove away in a stolen Ford sedan. The truck stopped at Mavis' parents' house in Roxbury. The loot was unloaded and Ben File hid the truck. The robbers split up to establish alibis. For safety, Baker took $300,000. O'Keefe and Gushera each got $100,000. Weeks later, O'Keefe ratified his share, only to find $90,000 in the case. $2,000 was missing. He trusted Mavi and left the money with him. Others accused Mavi of squandering it. On October 9, 8 men were sentenced by Judge Ford. Pino, Costa, Mavi, Gagan, Flaherty, Richardson, and Baker got life sentences. That's the end of the Brink's robbery case. It was once considered a perfect crime that puzzled the FBI for 6 years. In the end, even the perfect crime had a perfect ending for justice.